Rick, I think we've had a false start.
Yeah, I'm trying.
I still see the player on the screen. There it is. Okay, the background is right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, I got it now.
Disclaimer: the information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GANs processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
It's time for change to move into the real work of the universe. And it's time to understand that we use the matter state to reach the level of understanding of the soul of the man. Now you understand maybe why the Creator has sent His messengers in the name of whatever you have had. Is that they bring the ears, that it can be used when the time of the Messiah comes. They can teach the soul and the message, not to oppose. But by them understanding through those who have become Messiahs to give from their souls to these to elevate, the job is made easy. The school is there and the students are devotedly there. Then there won't be any fight between what they call the Muslims and the Christians. The lamb and the lion will eat and sleep in the same nest. The Christians and the Muslims will sleep and pray in the mosque, then in the same church, in the name of their souls, not in the name of religion. That is used to create so much conflict for the benefit of those who were the hyperactive children. The time has come, the time of change is here. And as I said, my wish is my command. If it's your wish to see peace, path of peace is laid very clearly. It's the soul of the collective awareness by giving will create a position of change. No other thing. There is no pen in the soul of the man. And I'm sure once you go into the universal community, you will never see anything written but the balance of the fields of the soul of the existence. Try to be humble enough not to and you possess. Otherwise, you'll fall in the same path of the church and the mosque. This is what we promised, and this is what we have delivered. We have to understand the operation of the soul, and we have to understand the soul of the man is a star in the cosmos of the universe. If we compare the soul of the man and many of us, 7 billion in one collection, Earth is like a galaxy with so many stars. When we look in the depth of the universe, we see galaxies with hundreds of millions of stars in it. So is the planet Earth. It carries 7 billion beautiful stars, which are the soul of the man. Carries with it soul of so many trillions of animals, plants, and everything else. So if you look, when someone who does not see the physicality of the earth and its content, what do they see? They see a galaxy with so many beautiful lights shining, each one according to their strength, each one according to their position. An infant has a beautiful soul, so has the old man. To those who do not see the physical dimension of this planet, but they see the strength of the field, we are clusters of stars. The human race, every single soul, no one from a distance sees that's the soul of a fisherman, that's the soul of the cosmologist, that's the soul of the president. They all shine, irrespective of the physicality. This is the magic. This is what the new science has to bring to man. When we look to our soul, we see nothing but a star in the other souls. And this is the break. This is the understanding. This is what all these teachings are about. Coming to mature to the next level, to understand in the deep space, the universe is the oyster for those souls who serve. Then man is ready to go into space. Then man is ready to become part of the universal community which has been promised. I never promised you heaven. I always promised you the elevation of the man to join the family. And now you have the key. It's you who has to open the door to understand, if I can raise the soul of these people or millions of other souls, that the physical life on this planet changes, then I'm worthy to be part of the universal community. To be there to serve, to expand, to be there, to be part, that in the cycle of life of universe, I become, in being part, I become part of the totality. When man reaches that point, a new dimension in the strength of the soul of the man will appear, which is beyond imagination of understanding of the physical life. It's the gate to the opening of the new life, in a new dimension, which is beyond imagination of what you might call a new beginning. a new cycle, which that cycle carries with itself the origin of the creation of life in the universe and in the universe. It's the elevation of the soul to serve become the key, not a throne of the physical life. The time is right. The time has come for the man to go through this process.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 346 One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace here on Tuesday, October 1st, 2024. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute Education Department and part of the public teachings in English. My name is Rick Crammond, and I'll be your host once again. We are joined with members of the Universal Council and support members who will be presenting today's show. And without further ado, let's get into that and allow the show to begin.
Well, thank you very much, Rick. And we as the Universal Council welcome each and every one of you. And we welcome you all to be part of our collective work and to see how you fit in to support this evolution in technology, evolution in science, and evolution in a way, or elevation of the soul of the man. And of course, there's to update yourself, you really should go to the past Knowledge Seekers workshops, of course, but in the last Knowledge Seekers workshop, number 557, Mr. Keshe gave a beautiful public announcements for about 30 minutes, and he covered quite a bit of the advanced technology that's being here and offered on this planet. So if you go to about minute 108, you can get a full update, maybe not a full update, because normally with the Keshe Foundation, what we see in the public domain is only about 5% of the work going on in the background. This Keshe Foundation is like in a diamond in a way, with so many facets and so many faces. And you can just imagine that sparkling diamond that sometimes you'll see in a showcase or other places. Maybe that's why Mr. Keshe used to make some of the largest diamonds in the world. But we as the Keshe Foundation are bringing changes in so many ways on this planet. We see feeding technologies. We see wellness technologies. We've learned how to transfer fields for wellness. We see in the energy arena nuclear technology that we conventionally use becoming obsolete. We see satellites for communication also becoming obsolete. Space travel with the new rare earth materials that are made in a special way. And again, very, very interesting. But we are moving slowly, step by step. Even the sun is getting involved in the what we call this process, or what we saw in 23 as an aurora, where we all received magnetic fields for the elevation of ourselves, the planet, and all its inhabitants. And of course, Mr. Keshe is working pretty strongly in the background, as he mentioned in this last workshop. In the last 3 months, he's been speaking to the Chinese, he's been speaking to the Americans, he's been speaking to the Iranians, and he's been speaking to other countries in the Middle East, as I understand it. And you can help every day in a way, softening the path for Mr. Keshe by using your energies in this process of what we call creating the dome of peace on this planet. And of course, we'll participate in that very soon in today's meeting. So you'll have a bit of a taste of it. So it's up to us to bring the change as humanity. One of the top 5 nations, if you think this is pie in the sky, apparently one of the top 5 nations had sent Mr. Keshe a message just in the past number of days that they have understood the technology, or maybe an aspect of it, and want to move ahead with this gas system or this energy supply. You can also test these products and understand how they work by going to the Keshe Foundation store, providing feedback for what you may want to try, or take part in the transmutation sessions. And this helps keep the Keshe Foundation free for humanity. And it's all done on a volunteer basis. So it's not like you're going to get paid to work at the Keshe Foundation, but it's in a way, a labor of love to see this change being brought forth on this planet. And sometimes you may even pay as a volunteer to keep the Keshe Foundation free. So again, we invite you to tap into the universal knowledge, to bring the change for yourself and for this planet, and see what befits you in this technology and how you fit in. Thank you, and welcome to the larger family.
Thank you, Mark. It's Dean here, representing the English language. I'm the support member for the Universal Council. Mark's just explained some very beautiful informations for us to receive, and we know part of it. We've always known part of it. And I think it's very beautiful what Mark was saying, that we're all volunteers. If you saw the amount of work that goes in the background, and these souls that are present, giving unconditionally, bringing this information forward, and serving unconditionally, giving from their souls. And I've seen some of these souls that are in physicality and what they do. It's quite incredible, the dedication and the beauty that the way they serve humanity. And when each and every one of us becomes brave enough to stand forward and understand what we're part of, what we are, then you'll all represent humanity. We already do. We're all part of it. So I'd like to give a little bit of a teaching here. And there's something on screen that is the emotions and the soul. And it's a guideline for balancing the emotions. We've been taught by Mr. Keshe that it's the emotion that sets the position, the time and place. And these emotions that we carry tend to limit us a little bit to a certain position, a certain aspect of our lives. So just by reading the message, and it says here, the message is very simple. So the message is very simple. It's from the Creator. The man himself is part of the Creator. So it's within each and every single one of us. Everyone that is present in the moment, and each and every one of us listening, are part of the Creator. And this is the eventual understanding of the teachings. So this is where it's all leading to. So at the very beginning, we know the end. I am the beginning, I am the end, as Mr. Keshe would say. When you are part of the total, you are the total. So you're present, you're listening, you're receiving this information, and You hear a voice, you hear my voice, but we're all part of one totality. So the voice is coming from within. You carry all the essence of it. It's you who decide to what limit you want the essence to manifest itself. So the manifestation of what's happening and around us and what we're experiencing is our own essence that we manifest, and we decide what it shall be. Even though we believe it's outside of us and we react to everything outside, when we dwell inside, when we're part of this, then we start to have a different field strength that requires a different understanding to what we've had in the past. So when you stand and look at the totality, you have to be impartial to every aspect. So whatever you've experienced, you have to be partial to this. Be it the way you've been brought up. So many of us have experienced countless numbers of ways to be brought up within a family structure, within a community, within a nation, within the planet. And all of this is a conditioning that we've had. It's the way we've been educated. So the way you were educated, because by being impartial, just look at everything else. You don't need to defend a position. So that's a wonderful thing. So if we become impartial, we don't need to defend our position, whichever position you are. I'm a man, I'm a woman, I'm a doctor, I'm a street worker, whatever it is. I'm a president, or I am whatever, you name it. Once you don't need to defend that position, then you start to create and start to interact in a different way with everything around you. Everything around you. You don't then receive. You know, when we have this wonderful position where we someone says something to you, and if it doesn't quite feel right to you, it brings an emotion forward, and that emotion may be joy, happiness. It may be something that's not that. But that's the defending a position. So, and not defending a position, you don't spend energy. And that's the most beautiful thing for me, because everything's an energy transfer. So if you're not defending a position, you're not sending it energy. And that's a totally different way of understanding what we've been experiencing, or we are experiencing in this moment. But you add to the energy because from what you learn. So you're learning something new now, something, an addition to what we've known before. Knowledge, if you ever understood, is sharing part of the soul of the man who gave you the knowledge. So when you receive the knowledge from the man who shared the knowledge, you're receiving from the soul of the man. This is what man has not understood in most of the work of this culture. When you read something from Einstein, when you read something from Edison, when you read something from Tesla, the beautiful Tesla, when you read something from Da Vinci, when you read it, it's just a reading. But when you understand the reading, you'll receive part of the soul of the man. I experienced this with Mr. Keshe, and I'm sure many knowledge seekers have. There's come times when I've understood, I believe I've understood some things that Mr. Keshe has been teaching. And I did feel that elevation. I felt it within my very being, and I felt it felt different. I acted differently, and I know I received many gifts because of this. That's how you elevated yourself. So by listening, by understanding, receiving from the soul of the man, you elevate yourself. And that's part of the giving that the foundation does. It shares the knowledge unconditionally. You receive it on a soul level and it elevates you. And then you can pass that knowledge on. And then you receive the elevation from the next soul. And this is how it works. And there are countless numbers of souls present. Reading the knowledge and understanding it doesn't matter what it is, it's receiving from the soul of the man because he had so much to give and now you receive it. So this man had so much knowledge, he had so much to give, he wanted to share it, share the creation, share the enjoyment of what it is to receive all this energy. And then you can use it. You have elevated yourself to his level. So it's a bit like all the prophets that have been present on planet Earth. This knowledge is equal to, if not beyond, what they knew. And so Mr. Keshe has come along and we are elevating him ourselves, and not quite to Mr. Keshe's level, but an understanding of where he's coming from. And that's the beauty of it. That is the creation. That is part of the creator within us. And a lot of people don't understand this. And we need to. Enlightenment is part of the field of the universe. And it's you who decide how, at what level you get enlightened. And then this is the process of the progress of the maturity of the soul of the man. So we receive that information, it becomes part of the soul, as we've been taught about the soul of physicality and the soul of man. And so we are working between these two souls to create an understanding and to elevate ourselves. So please try to understand the whole knowledge, Mr. Keshe is saying. It makes it much easier to teach. So I think these words I've been speaking and this teaching that Mr. Keshe gave, it's been around for such a long time and it's just been sat on a website. But the essence of the field strength of it is present in this very moment. It still holds true because it's a truth. And we feel it and we know it. As it's there where we learn. So it's where we learn. We know. Don't target and try to achieve, Mr. Keshe is saying. Target and try to understand. So don't try to achieve anything. There's nothing to achieve. There's nothing to gain from it. It's an understanding that when you understand it, you receive from the soul of the creator, and then you're elevated. And that's your field strength will enhance, become much more, and then you can share more. But understand on the way, the totality, not just focus on one thing. So as Mr. Keshe is saying, understand the totality. Try not to focus on one thing. Try to understand the teachings of all of it, the totality. So it's saying you can attend a class. It doesn't mean you're going to learn anything. So if you don't receive the correct knowledge, if you're just reading it line for line without feeling it, absorbing the energy of it, the energy transfer, you can just become, many people read books, hundreds of thousands of pages. Do they absorb from the soul that gave the knowledge of it? And this is what this is, because this knowledge is of a universal knowledge, a gift to humanity. It takes us to another dimension, another level of understanding beyond what humanity has had in the past, from the beautiful teachings of the prophets that were given and we needed in those moments. But now we've understood more and we've elevated ourselves, as it's been said in these teachings, to the soul of Mr. Keshe. And where does Mr. Keshe come from? He's present on planet Earth as a very big gift from the Creator to bring peace, the energy of peace within each and every single one of us. And as you can see, this is all available on the KF Wiki. There's a little link at the bottom there you can see. Please, if you get a chance, just have a look, just read through these words. Feel the absorption of the field strength that you're receiving in this moment, and the beautiful knowledge that the Universal Council and the team that's all surrounded and the souls that are present are sharing with humanity to elevate us and bring us the energy of peace. Thank you all for listening. Thank you, Rick. I think you can go to the next slide now. Thank you, Rick.
Hello, it's Mehran, the Universal Council support for Farsi language. So we, the Universal Council and the support, collectively give for humanity to live by the ethos of thinking good, doing good, and acting good for all in everywhere.
We are present.
We give collectively from our central energies as the Universal Council, the nations and their representatives the strength to receive and accept the tip from the Keshe Foundation. Being translated, tip is technology in exchange for peace.
We are present. We, the Universal Council, wish through our souls to all souls in existence to be in this beautiful, peaceful cosmic balance now. We are present.
We, the UC, give to the soul of physicality, to reach the soul of the man, the connection to our energy of peace. In understanding the fields of creation, we ride the superhighway into.
We are present.
We, the Universal Council, give from our soul to create condition for all beings in existence, to find peace in any condition and situation.
We are present.
Next, we have the soul connection with Sweta.
Yes, yes. Thank you, my dear. We'll be doing the soul connection in Hindi language and beautiful soul connection, and all of you are present here. शाश्वत प्रणाम, सलाम, सलीम, नमस्कार। तो मैं ये शुरुआत करती हूँ कि आप कहीं भी हो, कैसे भी हो, चल रहे हो, बैठे हो, काम कर रहे हो, थोड़ी सी देर एक स्थिरता लाएं, अपनी सांसों को समझें, सांसों को लें, सांसों को बाहर निकालें और अपने आप को एक शांतिमय वातावरण में रखें। एक अंतःकरण की बात कर रही हूँ, जहाँ अंतःकरण एक शांतिमय प्रकाश युक्त वातावरण है, जहाँ आपको ऐसा आप चिंता करिए, ऐसा आप सोचिए और फिर गहरी सांस लें और जब सांस छोड़ें तो सोचिए कि आप अपने अंदर से सारी बाधाओं को दूर कर रहे हैं। और इसी प्रकार से जब हम पृथ्वी के प्रत्येक जीवात्माओं के बारे में सोचते हैं तो हम सबको सबको एक शांतिमय वातावरण में सबको सहृदय हम सबकी आत्माओं का उन्नयन करते हैं, पूरी पृथ्वी की जीवात्माओं का। और ये समय सबसे सुंदर है, यही मैं कहूँगी। तो मैं 3 मिनट के लिए ये सोल कनेक्शन करती हूँ। हम सब साथ हैं, यही सबसे बड़ी बात है। तो हम शुरू करते हैं। आप सबका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आज यहाँ प्रस्तुत होने के लिए इस अंतरकरण से आत्माओं का जीवात्माओं का उन्नयन करने के लिए और बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया धन्यवाद इसी प्रेम के साथ हम हमेशा इसी अंतरकरण से हम आत्माओं का उन्नयन करेंगे और प्रत्येक जीवात्माओं को इसका लाभ मिलेगा इसी इसी अवस्था से हम सभी को सलाम नमस्कार बोलते हैं थैंक यू सलाम नमस्ते सलीम फॉर बीइंग हियर माय डियर ब्यूटीफुल सोल फॉर एलिवेशन ऑफ सोल ऑलवेज with a beautiful beautiful heart and soul thank you so much now we can move to the next presentation.
Hello again. This is the invitation of the Universal Council, which invites the Keshe and the Universal Council family and every student in unifying at the soul level every night at 9 PM CEST for the elevation of the souls of all leaders and soul of the totality of the Keshe Foundation, creating peace in everything that exists. In fact, this is also another practice to expand our souls, because soul is something elastic, is something related to the lives of God. So there is infinite place to go. And when we know our soul, we practice our soul, it becomes more and more strong. And when we give, it receives more according to plasma technology. When we give unconditionally, we receive more to be able to give more. So as easy as that. And we decided that one of the things we can do for the peace on earth is just as long as we're here, we can connect our souls at 9 o'clock when we have, in European countries, we have finished our daily job. And we just sit 2 minutes, 1 minute, as long as our soul can take it and doesn't get this confused and disconcerted and disconcentrated. So we just relate to other souls for a very needed element, which is peace. Many, many people in this world, or maybe outside this world, are waiting for peace on earth, which would be an event. Mr. Keshe says it's like a birthday party and everybody is waiting for you. And we know that this place we live in, as much as it can be beautiful, but it's not as pleasant as it could be, because maybe in other places with plasma energy differently, we can experience other beauties. The world actually is not a peaceful place for everybody. Even individuals are not in peace because of the matter of problems of material, of fear of banking problem everybody can have, or credits, or unemployments, and what do I do with my children, and all these things, manipulation for children in the social media. Everybody is waiting for a minute we just not control our life, and then they stick to our life and take what they can. So we really need a stable peace that everybody can get what they want, everybody. So one of the things we're here, we think that technology of Keshe is in a level that can reach the needs of people, the needs of everybody. People can invest on technology. People can manufacture the technology products. So everybody can take as much as they want, and the minimum is possible for everybody. So we give from our souls for this noble and very much needed commodity, and we just wait for the results, and probably we will get there, I hope, because otherwise, well, I hope there is no otherwise. So we just pray for peace. We just pray for elevation of the soul of the political leaders, religious leaders, economic leaders, that they are the factors in peace and war. And we give to their souls so that they can receive enough to let go of their greed and hyperactivity and understand the beauty of justice and real peace. So I thank everybody who assists in this, honestly. And I wish that with our groups, which seem not that much in numbers, we can create, as Mark says, a dome of peace on this planet and a better future for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mehran. Now, thank you so much. Now we can move to the next presentation.
Yes, next we have an extract from the Q&A, questions and answers with the Universal Council with Marie and Claudia. And now we're on question 4. So let me get that ready here. Okay, here we go with question 4.
Então, outra resposta é: todos nós, como energia, fazemos parte. Somos uma partícula de poeira que compõe o universo e o um. Cada alma decide viajar e se manifestar em outra posição e lugar no universo, fisicamente, se for o seu desejo. Da mesma forma, todas essas estrelas, essas luzes que vemos na Terra e fora dela,
the ethics. So then we are on the 4th question. How can we access the knowledge of the universal energy to live in the dimension of energy?
Então vamos para a 4ª pergunta. Como podemos acessar o conhecimento da energia universal para viver na dimensão da energia?
And the first answer, by connecting.
Primeira resposta é conectando-se.
And there is another answer. We are fundamental energy, a soul that decides to manifest physically on this planet. We are made in the image and the likeness of the Creator. We have the same essence, His love. Knowledge lives within us. When we act consciously, with the ethics of the Creator. Think, speak, do good to each being. We recognize it as equal, as unique energy united to ours. Thus, our energy range increases, and it is attracted by the similar energy range. It joins it. When we consciously focus our actions on what we want to do, we rediscover that knowledge and live in accordance with it. When then decide if we want to have a physical manifestation, and in what place, in what environment, our individual action has a collective impact as part of the universal energy.
Somos uma energia fundamental, uma alma que decidiu se manifestar fisicamente nesse planeta. Somos feitos à imagem e semelhança do Criador. Temos a mesma essência, seu amor. O conhecimento vive dentro de nós. Quando agimos conscientemente com ética do Criador, que é pensar, falar e fazer o bem a cada ser, nós o reconhecemos como igual, como uma energia única, unida à nossa. Assim, nossa faixa de energia aumenta e é atraída pela faixa de energia semelhante, unindo-se a ela. Quando focamos conscientemente nossas ações no que queremos fazer, redescobrimos esse conhecimento e vivemos de acordo com ele. Então decidimos se queremos ter uma manifestação física em qualquer lugar, em que ambiente. Nossa ação individual tem um impacto coletivo, como parte da energia universal.
And there is another answer. We can access the knowledge of the universal energy by following the teachings of Mr. Keshe, where he freely teaches us the knowledge of creation. By applying the ethos of Mitra to our lives and following the 24 commandments as sent to us from the Creator, teaching us how to reach the soul through physicality. By serving and helping others, by applying this to our life, we add energy to our very depleted souls. So our souls can manage to break through the transmutation barrier, and we will learn how to access and live in the dimension of energy.
Então podemos acessar o conhecimento da energia universal seguindo os ensinamentos do Sr. Keshe, onde ele nos ensina livremente o conhecimento da criação, aplicando o ethos de Mitra em nossas vidas e seguindo os 24 mandamentos enviados a nós pelo Criador, ensinando-lhe-nos como alcançar a alma através da fisicalidade, servindo e ajudando os outros. Ao aplicar isso em nossas vidas, adicionamos energia a nossas almas, muito esgotadas, para que nossas almas possam conseguir romper a barreira da transmutação, e aprenderemos como acessar e viver na dimensão da energia.
And there is another answer. Be humble. Live the ethos of Mitra. Don't kill. Unify your soul with those souls who works for peace. More and more souls understand that they have to open up their own souls to connect, to interact, and to be able to receive from the totality, from the Creator and His dimension, or His creation. Then you will notice you receive a new perspective, a new awareness in a new dimension. Welcome to become this beautiful new being of peace. Sense the emotion of the soul. We love you.
Seja humilde. Viva o ethos de Mitra. Não mate. Unifique sua alma com aquelas almas que trabalham pela paz. Mais e mais almas entendem que precisam abrir suas próprias almas para se conectar, interagir e ser capazes de receber a totalidade do Criador e da sua criação. Então você perceberá que recebe uma nova perspectiva, uma nova consciência em uma nova dimensão. Bem-vindo para se tornar esse novo e belo ser da paz. Sinta a emoção da alma. Nós te amamos. I felt that.
Me too.
Eu falei, eu senti essa última pergunta, resposta aqui. Eu senti.
So that was the answers from the Universal Council this month. And I thank everyone who contributed to the manuscript. And to the translators.
Thank you.
Okay, that was our extract from the Q&A with the UC with Marie Calv and Claudia. Next, we have an extract from the 557th Knowledge Seekers Workshop. And I believe Mark put this together, actually. And the title is People Don't Understand What's in This Box. And it's about 9.5 minutes, and I'll start that video now.
When I said to our Iranian leadership past few days, when our nation has all the gas, all the fuel, all the energy, why do we need to worry about what the Americans do? Or do we need to build a new nuclear power station? Why are we building these nuclear power stations when now this new technology is it? Do you know how much transmission lines cost? How much nuclear storage cost? Iran is in the first phase of nuclear power. What are we going to do in 30, 40 years with these power stations when they come to obsolete, like in England? Hinkley 1, Hinkley 2, what happened to them? We don't have the finances to cover. But with this technology, we can just put a machine on top of the machine. The reactors is done for billions of years. But building, this is one of the reasons Americans are stuck and they're trying to force the past, because they build, as I said many times, they build all these underground cables and everything else, and the satellites, billions are spent on satellites. Now, how many of you have what do you call it, these cosmic ray bundles? How many of you have this Obesos unit? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This obsoletes the what do you call all the satellites, all the communication systems. This new what do you call cosmic ray bundles, it literally makes all the satellite, billions are spent on it, obsolete. And don't you think the African nations have the right to have it? And what is the future of this? Well, they spend billions on satellites. Now, sorry, Keshe Foundation has put a simple unit in the market and communicates faster, no interference, nobody can intercept it, no need for encryption. And it's instantaneous. How many of you connected last Friday to these systems with the system you have? So we have made billions of investments by the Americans and the Europeans in this latest technologies in communication today. I just received a message from our people. Just let me read what it says. It says, by the way, second parts of the cosmic ray bundles are sent. So those of you who took the bundles, now you receive your second part. If you announce you receive the first part. And your system will teach you in the future how to connect it to your computer, how to connect it to your mobile phone. And you don't need to pay a cent for mobile communication. Nobody can intercept you. And this is the beauty with this technology. It's already at the reach of every man, every corner of this planet. All of you who took the cosmic bundles, you already joined what you call the new world of science and technology, which the Americans don't want you to see. To you, it's just a unit because you're children of this technology. But to those who understand, this is the end of control in communication, end of control in limitation of communication. Through these, you will see in the very near future, we deliver food, we deliver energy, we deliver everything you need. You remember years ago, if you go back on the keshefoundation.com, there was a tent. We call it the, what do you call it? The open, what do you call it? Oasis system. This is the Oasis system. This is it. Now it's become such a compact. People don't understand what's in this box. Even our own people don't understand the potential of this system. In Oasis system, in the Oasis system, you had no telephone, no communication. We gave you water, light, and everything else. Now with this, you have a universal communication system. Not only through the word, you can connect to the soul. The guy's doing this, doing that. I understand. I feel the emotion. This is the fear of the next generation.
So, Mr. Keshe, so this you mentioned something earlier. You said that no one will be able to bypass the system. So you have direct communication from between the systems, between the souls, between these units, and nobody will be able to. All this technology of computers trying to hack and everything like this, and then blocking
it's impossible.
communications.
You hack to the lines from the earth to the sun. Then you can hack into the system.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. We had a very, very interesting position. People give us information without them knowing how we evaluate it, what we see, what it's been set up to do. We have a couple who have a unit and a headset, shared headset. And it's amazing in sessions, some sessions, they feel exactly the same. They haven't realized that they are carrying the two together with it. So one carries the other. You understand?
Yeah.
So it's already communicating, closing the system. And so you don't need to speak to your wife. You have a headphone with you in New York and she has a headphone with her with a unit in Australia. You know each other, you understand each other, everything is done. What's the use? You don't need to call the telephone. Then the reason of telephone is to carry emotion. You carry it. These units at the prices we put out is a gift. especially the way and the length of time it takes to produce them.
I think many knowledge seekers are aware, Mr. Keshe, of your what you do.
So you're just pushing the world leaders to understand.
Yeah, I think you just did. I really do. I think if they don't, there comes a moment when every man, every soul has to understand the position that they've taken for so long. But in the same instant, it's over. It's finished. It's now time. It's now the moment. The souls are elevating. They're now aware of other dimensions and other possibilities, and things are changing.
Gradually, step by step, as the Armenian says, Muslims, we have to go step by step and bring the change. Irrespective, the only objective or the only target for the Keshe Foundation knowledge seekers has to be availability of the knowledge to every living things on this planet and beyond on equal share basis, to bring a condition of equality and peace, and that's the target. And that's what I said to the Iranian officials. Tip is tipping the world present condition. And technology in exchange for peace is the only way. And I said to Iranians, withdraw from this 5+1. Why are we doing it? Let them come with not a begging bowl, but with a proposal that, okay, nuclear is obsolete, let's talk about the future. Would the sanctions hold? I don't think so.
Okay, that completes our excerpt from the last 557th Knowledge Seekers Workshop. And let me get back to our regular program here. Okay.
Rick, is Dean here? May I quickly just say something about that? Would that be okay?
Sure, it's up to you.
So, thank you, Mark, for that little extract that you've turned into a video. Thank you. I think it was Mr. Keshe said that it was my soul needed to ask this question. So the question was asked, and Mr. Keshe gave a very comprehensive answer to this, and I think it signifies the capabilities and the technological advances which have always been present. A universal condition is present in a new box, and we saw that new box, and it's now available to the knowledge seekers, and some of the souls have received this beautiful gift. And so this is now, as Mr. Keshe said, something he's going to be teaching over the next few weeks and months, for us to be able to start to come to understand what we can do with these little units. It's an oasis unit that can create conditions for to feed us and to give us energies and all sorts of things. This completely changes the whole condition of what's possible from what we've conventionally known. And I think as humanity, as the souls present, this is a very beautiful gift by Mr. Keshe to one of many, by the way, one of many, that will connect all the souls and will bring a new condition, a new understanding for many of us who start to experiment and be part of this beautiful technology that is available for every single person on planet Earth. It could be geared up to this very, very quickly and very easily, I think, with Mr. Keshe's knowledge, and if you had the production facilities. I'm sure there's lots of times when you would need this unit. Each in every single soul would need one, maybe to elevate, maybe just to bring a condition where you don't need, if you have a condition where there's a war zone, where there's something that's happened in the environment, something that's happened like we see all across planet Earth at the moment, where we're seeing many different things are happening on many levels. And this knowledge is obviously has been made aware to the soul of humanity. And the soul of humanity is collectively engaging and creating a field strength that is changing the emotion of the energy of peace on planet Earth. And I thank Mr. Keshe, and I thank the Foundation and the Universal Council for being present to bring this moment now. Thank you. Thank you, Rick.
This is MOSFET, and I would like to add a few things here. And thanks, Dean, for his wonderful presentation of the context that came with this answer. One of the things that when we encounter plasma technology, we hear this word of energy transfer. Energy transfer through the devices, various devices that we have. Here we have a device where we are transferring energy as well, but we're also doing communication. Now, in plasma, one of the things that is very unique as compared to our conventional systems, when we think about energy transfer or physical transfer of gas or water, we think in terms of wires or pipelines. That kind of idea comes into our mind. And then we have the other kind of transmission of information, computer technology, communication technology, mobile phone technology, and so forth. In plasma science, things are a bit different here. When we transfer energy, it also carries the information. Information and energy are not separate. They're intertwined. Information dictates the amount of energy delivery. Information dictates how the energy will be routed, things like that. So information and energy are not two separate things. They're intertwined together, and it dictates what happens with the energy, or what energy also dictates what happens with the information on the other end. And this is a little bit different from our customary ways of thinking about energy transfer, because plasma technology extends and enhances and considerably amplifies what is possible with energy transfer. And some of these opportunities exist when we engage our soul in this process, where we start to see the power of this kind of energy transfer. And this is a prelude to how our existing system would change, be it computer system, be it energy system, material delivery systems. So we have to become used to a new way of exchange of information and energy. And this requires a bit of adjustment. And the reason for my mentioning is that this advancement will take us to a new point. And this is through this Technology in Exchange for Peace program, or TIP program. So this tip program has an interesting connotation to it, is that we are very close to that point where our existing system will flip over to this new way of doing things. So are we then close to what one might call the tipping point through this technology in exchange for peace? Thank you very much.
Okay, now I think we have the knowledge and understanding at this point with Mehran, but it doesn't show that way in the inner presentation, so I'll have to sort that out. We've got Mehran, are you going to give a
Yes, thank you very much.
presentation now?
I
Okay,
tried
great.
to. So I was put to do this resume of 557. The thing is, when Mr. Keshe says that we really concentrate and we think we understand it and it's nice and beautiful, but then when we go through it, we understand it, but we are not able to say it to other people. So I noticed I really have to work on it. And but I just find it so beautiful when it's like a puzzle, when we put the pieces of this puzzle, really understanding, as he says, always teach to others to understand. I really understood what it means. And this is very, I mean, like most of his teaching, this is important. At the same time, this is some kind of basic of creation. I took a little bit note, and then I say what I really understood myself. Well, it starts from the cycle of life, from the man's eyes, is from the moment we are at the moment of conception in the womb of a mother to the moment we die. But in universal concept, in fact, it comes from the source. The energy comes from the source, and which itself comes from the time of creation, the start of the creation. And then when we die, in fact, we don't die, because it can go to another physical, be part of physical life or soul life, or create to some sort of other energies. Like we might live 50, 70, 80, 100 years from the start. But in fact, we can say we don't know how old we are, because it goes back to where my soul is created. And it might be maybe as long as the earth is created, 4 million, or something like that. And the thing is that everything depends on the strength fields and the dimension. We are part of the creator, we are the creator, we are of creator, but not in the same dimension and not the same strength fields on planet Earth. And then from the soul point of view, we come from the origin. And it's the amalgamation of all these fields which come together in one point, and it creates the soul of the man. And then in departure, it may become another part of another soul or physical body of somebody else, somewhere else. So we come from creator and we go back to creator. And okay, I know that Mr. Keshe said before that in the soul gives some fields to the earth, and with the earth fields, it's created nitrogen. Nitrogen belongs to earth. So with this nitrogen, we are able to have muscles, which is copper, which is 14 by 4, 56 iron, which is the earth. Earth has the iron in it, and the zinc for our nervous system, which are all created by element of nitrogen. If we go to another planet and there is no nitrogen, but it's something sort of another element, we create another physicality, which the color might come, if it's instead of 14 nitrogen is 30. We become from another element, which is green, different shadows of green. So, so that's why we are all coming from the fields of universe. When this field is created on Earth, the field, when it is in the local inertia, what's inertia? It's the amalgamation, it's the outcome of the gravitational and magnetic fields, the strength of the moment and the place. So regarding this inertia, these fields, these fields which are on that place create man, create dogs, create animals, other or plants. So this creation at the same time, which is related to the energy of this locality and related to the energy of solar system, it's also related to the straight line of universal inertia. That's why we are all in a way part of the whole thing. It's like fingers of a hand. The fingers are related to the hand. So we are all in a way related to one thing. And what Mr. Keshe says also, the fields strengths together create mass. And the mass is the same everywhere. But when it comes in this environment or that environment, it creates weight. And the weight is different from mass. Mass is universal. And and then he talks about this planet has iron. That's why it's fit. We are fit to live in this planet because of nitrogen, because of amino acids in this planet, and the protein which is fitting to our creation. And in fact, the rule of creation everywhere is the same. In every local, in every planet, in every system is the same. What's in micro is in macro. So when we understand the whole creation is based the same, it teaches us when he says, be humble, give, and love. Because when you are humble, you give, you are not attached to that line of your creation. You are attached to that universal line which works with hydrogen and carbon in universe. So in fact, when I learned that, I started really, I was moved why he always says he couldn't explain why we should be humble. More than that, we are nothing but the consequences of these fields which amalgate, and our forefathers are like that. My brother is created this way, and we go to another place regarding our strength fields. So that's as long as I got from this teaching, and I hope that you understood it the way I said that, and it adds and it was useful. Thank you. Or any discussion if you want to add, please. I'm here also. Any ideas or discussion or discoveries or
Mehran, it's Dean here. Mehran, I think you just gave a wonderful explanation and a very beautiful teaching and of the 557. And I think you explained it beautifully. And I think you elevated us by your understanding and we received from you. And you explained it wonderfully. And you expanded upon the knowledge. You've taken the essence of what Mr. Keshe said. You've understood it, elevated yourself, and then passed it on to us. And the souls feel this. We may not all totally understand it word for word, but we receive the field strength of of you sharing this gift. And we elevate from it. And Marinez, I think that was a wonderful explanation, and I thank you for it. It was very, very, very beautiful. Thank you, Marinez.
I thank you.
And I
But
also,
if there is a
thank
place
you,
which
Mehran.
is not clear, you can ask, because maybe I was not able to express it the way I see the logic in it.
I think
Because
Thank you,
you're very
Mehran.
good
Yeah.
job, Marinez.
because the problem is the vocabulary which Mr. Keshe uses of fields, field strengths, and creation of fields and inertia. These are the words which are very complicated. And it's just when we understand that, and we know that everything is the fields and how it mixes with other fields and how in each locality with other magnetic fields, force, which is inertia, creates a being, creates a matter. From the fields, we create matter. And he says that's how we can create from fields energy and matter, and from matter go back, if we learn how to do it, go back again to energy and fields.
So, Marinez, I know that Mr. Keshe was saying, and I'm reading it now here, that he was saying that there's local and universal inertia, and we have the local inertia. This is why some materials cannot manifest themselves on this planet because of the inertia of that element in respect to the interaction with the fields of the gravity and magnetic field of the environment on this planet. So it does not allow manifestation, does not mean that it does not exist. So from my understanding of what I've just spoken about and what you've explained, that that the soul is present and the fields are gathered and present, but in the physical form of that mass and that atom that has a mass and a weight doesn't always contribute to making a physical form, but the soul is present always. And it doesn't need to manifest as a mass. When you go to the higher, when you go to the soul, then you're interacting in an energy state. And these energy states don't always need to manifest themselves, but they are always present. So thank you, Marinez. That was wonderful. Thank you for your teaching.
Yeah, in fact, he says that's why there is no difference from black and white and everything, and blonde and everything, because each one is created regarding the inertia of that place. If I was born there and my parents were there, I would become black. You understand? So but there is no difference in the rule and the soul. So we cannot be racist after that. Everybody is the same.
We're all part of the same. We all have those same atoms in us. Mr. Keshe has explained this many times, where if you go to another part of planet Earth and you stayed there long enough, you become part of it. You absorb the energies, the elements of that particular spot, and then the atoms and part of you will change over a period of time. That time may be generations, but as time doesn't exist in outside of the environment of planet Earth, for us it may seem like a lifetime, but in reality it's instant, zero time communication. It's just us who've come to understand a little bit more now.
But just we are the fruit of amalgamation of the fields in every place. So we have nothing more than anybody else. It's just the social masks we have, or more or less. But in creation, we are all the same. We are all the same as the person in the entity in another planet, which is blue color and has one leg and 3 hands and things like that. We are the same. That person is there. It looks like that because of the inertia, amalgamation of field energy is there. And we are here. So we have another kind of field which creates us. But the essence, there's the spirit. If I go there, it's the same with another color, with another body, with another form. Just the accident of the fields.
I've always said this, Marinez, and from my understanding of what Mr. Keshe is, what you've just spoken about, and what Mr. Keshe said, that we're on a very small planet that is part of a much bigger totality. And within the localized environment with connection to iron and amino acids, we have these bodies. But as you just rightly pointed out, the soul is eternal. The soul is forever. And that energy, once it's formed, then once it loses the black or the blue, the white, the pink, yellow, whatever you want to call it, then it takes another position. And that new position gives us the ability to then, if we so wish, if the soul decides to, you could remanifest. And there is no difference between who is, the alien. What is an alien? When we are floating in an ocean, a vast, vast ocean of stars, and we look out from within and we say there's an alien. Who's the alien? It doesn't exist. It's part of us. We are it. We are the totality, and we are from the Creator.
As far as they have souls, they have
have a soul.
emotion, and we have souls. So we can fall in love with an alien. I don't see any problem. Yeah. Thank you.
It's going to be, Mr. Keshe said this, it'll be wonderful to see when we see all these different wonderful combinations. The fact is you'll then start to interact in different ways because those aliens may not have the physical form of a human being. So the physical form of whatever it is that humans want to do won't be necessarily the point, but there'll be an energy transfer, a new understanding. And this beautiful explanation that you've just given, Marinez, is part of the process for humanity to elevate and understand the divinity and the beauty that we possess within inside ourselves. Thank you, Mehran. That's beautiful.
Yeah, another thing is that when we learn really transmutation and the art of it, we can go any other place, look like them, and they can come here and look like us. I don't know how many aliens live on Earth. Mr. Keshe says, a lot of aliens in here, but when you look at them, they look like us, and they have accepted our culture and way of life. You understand?
I think Mr. Keshe said, Mehran, it was 1/3 of humanity may not be from here.
Yes, yeah, but I don't want to say that it's too much. But you mean because they know how to, they have known how to transmute, maybe their forefathers, and they have adapted this land as their country, as their land. So a lot of things is possibility in future. Thank you.
Thank you, Mehran. So it's having the ethos. It doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter the color, the size, shape. That's irrelevant. That's a limitation, and that is a separation. We are all part of one bigger totality, and the sooner we understand this and we stop dividing ourselves with whatever we do, whichever our beliefs are, that are limited because of a generational conditioning. And when we release that conditioning and we absorb, the teachings that we've, with some of the things that have been said today, we start to elevate and we start to, the energy then in motion, the emotions of the element start to change. And the universal peaceful condition from the universal family starts to be present here. And it's not just for one or two. It's for everybody. No one is higher and no one is lower. And we all receive from the Creator in this moment.
Yeah, there is a place we can distinguish who is higher. I mean, doesn't show. The thing is, we have the chance of strengthening, add to the strength of our soul. And that is what we go with. If you have a soul which is strong, which has left with ethos, it's strong. So it's like a man who is rich, he can go to any hotel. A man who is poor, he has to be where they put him. You understand? So that's important that we don't lose the joyeux, the richness that we have been given as a soul when we are coming to this earth. And we have to raise this small plant as correctly as it is and as beautiful. So when it goes, it would become something much, much more. When it would be planted in some other garden, instead of just being thrown out in cosmos because it has no force, no strength. That's the way I see it. So we can have this possibility of strengthening and giving force to our soul.
Being humble, Mehran. Thank you. Thank you for that beautiful teaching. Wonderful. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Dean and Mehran. Next, we have Jacko speaking about prejudice. And I have a recording I'll play of that. And we'll start that now.
Hey there, beautiful souls in, on, and beyond our beautiful planet Earth. It's me again, Jacko. I'm Universal Council member and representative of the Dutch language. A lovely welcome to all of you. Ask your soul to be your guide and ask your soul to support you in everything you do. And if you understand, start spreading the knowledge by teaching all souls in existence. It's the exchange of the knowledge that brings us deeper understanding. And by learning more, we can teach more. Now it's my thoughts and what I've learned from the teachings in the Knowledge Seekers Workshop of Mr. Keshe. Prejudice. A word that stands for a lot of negative emotions. A word that brings enormous mayhem to this world. The impact of the prejudice goes much further than just in physicality. This way of thinking often is the cause of wars and fights. Often we don't even think about what the cause of it is. We see someone doing wrong things, sometimes very bad things, and immediately the finger points on, and we start to judge that person. Now let me ask you, did you read the commandments? Do you understand what they are there for? Do you remember what it says? Every soul is equal. No one is higher and no one is lower. Oops, now we have a problem. How do we explain the wrongness of this person and what gives us the right to judge? Could it be that in our past life we also were not that perfect in many ways? This often is not a simple thing for many of us. Still, it's us who have to understand totality, as Mr. Keshe always says. Did we think about the soul positioning that led to the situation we call so bad? What about the fact that we are tested sometimes? We think we are the victims of others, but in fact it could be a mirror to ourselves. No, I don't want to put a blame on anyone. I just want to ask you to stay open in physicality, but especially in the energy dimension. As long as we reflect our own behavior, we can learn from what our environment wants to tell us. Then you don't have to be astonished why I am in the situation I brought myself in, and why is it so hard to be ready, for example, for transmutation. If we understand the work of the universe more and more, we understand that it's us and our behavior that opens that door or leaves it closed. We as spirits should follow our souls. Souls know the point, place, position and field strength where we can learn the most. Use your time on earth. Enjoy the beauty of life. Use your time wise in the ethos of Mitra. But never forget where we come from and where we go back to. The soul dimension doesn't have a timestamp because it's the eternal connection to our Creator in creation that makes us aware of being those little flames of the big fire we call Creator. A knowledge seeker asked me, how can we work with our emotions? What is the language of emotion? It is that ethos of thinking, speaking, and doing good. It's working with and sending your pure unconditional love instead of letting your prejudice block that conversation between souls. Soon we will understand this better. Our environment on Earth is changing, and if we agree or not, all living beings on Earth will change with it, because we are part of it. Don't be afraid And as a fellow knowledge seeker often says, being around the foundation is the best place to be. Equal what comes. We love you. No limit. Thank we as one.
Okay, thank you, Jacko, for that. And next, go to we have transmutation with Moshfik and Shweta.
Hello, everyone. This is Moshfik again. So let's look at the transmutation in ways that we are familiar. You know, in order to reach a different state where we operate with fields, we have to detach from what we are accustomed to. And this word detachment is known to most of us. It is, I mean, in our religions, they talk about this detachment. But we can examine detachment from a point of view of, yes, we detach to go to another point. And Mr. Keshe brought out this example of ladder. If we want to step onto the next rung of our ladder going up, we have to move our feet from the rungs below and climb up and attach our hands to the next rung above. And this process is something where we are detaching, all right, but with an objective of connecting with the next step ahead. So the attachment we have to the existing things. Some of the things are the events and, you know, noises. Listening to YouTube might be one of those. I'm just giving a very familiar example. We get attached to various things, various noises. News is a good example of it. Most of the news is in the noise category, but we get attached to it. There is a certain familiarity to it. It's kind of our daily noise. You know, I live in a noisy environment, and you know, it's you know, at one point all these noises are just, you know, without that it feels funny. It's too quiet. So often these noises, and when we try to detach from this noise and move to a place where things are calmer, and what happens is that when we try too hard, yeah, I need to get away from this noise. But that trying hard is essentially we are trying hard to look at the noise. I need to get away from the noise. And we are saying the words get away, but we are emphasizing the word noise or the thing that is noise. So this is a familiar thing for all of us. And we can use meditation, we can use breathing. There are various techniques available to do it. And these are physical postures, physical position, some controls over certain normal processes like breathing, heartbeat, etc. But we also have to think about where we are going. That is actually where we are, what is of prime importance. Let's say we want to calm our mind. So calming our mind is where the focus is. It's not the noise or what is going on right now. So often, even in, Keshe Foundation transmutation meetings, there are noise, people snoring, people, doing things, and, we hear these, and especially at the early stages, to some of us, it was distracting. But once again, if our focus, on the other hand, is on the next rung of the ladder, the movement away from the noise becomes a natural part of the process. Those of people who know, in the driving, it's often said that, it's not where you don't look at where you are, especially when you're learning to drive. We're learning to drive, and you aim for where you want to go, and it becomes more important the faster you go, especially those who are involved in racing. So the farther we can look forward, the more we can detach very easily. So our objective or our aim actually allows us to detach. And so we can, by doing so, we can actually collapse the slow process that we are familiar with in, let's say, in the meditation and that kind of breathing technique. You can actually shrink this to zero. So you can actually, once your aim is very firm and precise, we are no longer no longer need to think about detaching, because just by fixing the aim, we are detached. It's a very rapid process. And one can practice and achieving this, but there are intermediary steps, such as, let's say, repeating one's intention every morning. That's kind of like an intermediary in between way of doing it, because we haven't yet developed this precise, immediate focus on that objective. So these are, what I'm talking about is very simple. It's not that hard, but it's quick, and one can move very fast in changing from where they are or moving to a new state. And we have heard from Mr. Keshe that meditation is not necessary. So once we are familiar with a more easier or advanced way of doing it, and we become more in tune with that way of operating, then it becomes a lot easier. The detachment it's not the objective, it's a byproduct of what we are doing. It's not that difficult. It's fairly simple. But we have been taught by our education system, whatever else, social system, that I can't do this. we focus on what we want to avoid. Even when we have, let's say, a skin disease, we worry about this disease on the skin. When we look at our skin, if we imagine the skin to be perfect, beautiful, and adorable, do you think that skin condition will remain? And, when we connect that condition with the soul, you can do it rather quickly. When we have cancer, we go to, let's say, a doctor visit, and the doctor explains it with, all kinds of detail of how it was formed. It was always about the cancer, not the solution of it. So it's we are reinforcing the condition we are in. We are not looking forward, far ahead, when we're climbing or driving. It's a different way of doing things, and it's so ingrained in us. It's difficult to avoid. But as we implement such things in various aspects of our life, it starts to reach other places. And we can transmute our skin, many aspects of our being. Physical level, yes. Avoiding food, that too. But if we think about missing the food we are so used to eating, then it doesn't work. Our destination is different. Our destination is not eating, but having the right amount of energy to function properly all the time. But we rarely think in that way. We think in terms of we have to stop eating, but it's still the focus remains on eating. We have to flip the whole thing around in a way. And all kinds of possibilities start appearing, and as I mentioned, we can change our skin condition, we can change our cancer condition, anything we like. But we can change those things, but we have to look towards where we are going, what the change brings us, the path forward, the step forward, or the run forward. So, I will end this with a sort of like a funny kind of situation, because Mr. Keshe talked about, this partial transmutation. When I talked about the skin, it's a partial transmutation. We are transmuting a diseased condition to something we like, we feel comfortable with, we enjoy it. And this kind of feeling, we can apply it in many different ways. This partial transmutation, and we'll. The interesting thing is that when we go to in front of a seashore, it's a nice place. We enjoy it. We enjoy the sea, but we look at the sea, and we dip our toes, go in a little bit, but the sea looks ominous, doesn't it? We can drown in it. Even if we know how to swim, it's still a ominous thing. But this is one way of looking at it. We can also look at it in this. We can transmute ourselves partial transmutation into something like a fish. The tantalizing possibility of merman and mermaid comes into mind. Are they one of us who learned how to partially transmute? Or if we step in the ocean, we transmute into one of them. We step out of the ocean, we transmute back to a human being. The possibilities are intriguing, isn't it? But that brings us another interesting thing, is that this transmutation brings the other factor of like, well, if we can transmute to a fish, thinking about eating fish becomes another dilemma at that point. And that's not a pleasant situation, is it? So transmutation and energy transfer go hand in hand. The tantalizing possibility and the dilemma harmonizes, and we become the man of space. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, my dear Master. Yeah.
Just to add, we shouldn't think, as I have, of this transmutation process of something foreign and something strange, or it's a big word. I haven't used it much before because we're already doing a lot of transmutation in our own lives. Take the feeding example. The creation has left us 20% short, which forces us to kill and eat other creatures. But the other 80%, we're transmuting the fields of the universe on a regular basis, 24 hours a day, to provide that 80% of energy. So we're already doing a transmutation. You go to sleep at night, your soul expands. Isn't that a transmutation in so many ways? Even getting the feedback of the fields through the brain, where the soul shows the physicality or the soul of physicality what has happened, partially sometimes and sometimes more actively. So we're already doing a transmutation in a way. Yes, we're going to improve on it. Or if I think of someone 2 or 3 times in a row and all of a sudden they call me, isn't that a transmutation of the fields and communication and other things? Of course, we were told to call it a coincidence. We were told to call it a dream. We were told that you are what you eat, thinking that only the food I take in is me or the energies that I'm getting. But this is totally, again, erroneous in the new world of science, in the world of understanding energies. So I just wanted to encourage everyone, you're already doing many transmutations in your life, except we've mislabeled it many times. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you so much for your beautiful clarity, as it always. Thank you, my dear Moshik. So much clarification. Yes, of course. From beyond, we are doing this. As you question, as me answering, the same you, the same me, and we never witnessed the universal law of the creation. This time we are witnessing that, I'm sorry, that reading the message of the Creator, as we are all living beings, living now. So our true intention, as Mashfiq said, the true intention is to understand the energy body, to understand the universal unified, to understand, to allow the blueprint of the soul to come out, to manifest in the ethos of Mitra. So breathe in, my dear, the messenger, witness that universal love. Thank you. Thank you so much, beautiful soul. Now we can go to the next presentation.
Thank you, Sweta. It's Dean here again. So this is the 2024 Transmutation Test, and it's booked the virtual seat for your soul. It's everything that we've been speaking about and more. 2-hour sessions with small groups organized by geographical positioning of the participants. According to the number of participants, it can be done in 1 Friday per month or extended to 2 Fridays per month. And participants will be informed by email of their time allocation. Please make sure to mention in the comment section of the order the time zone you will be participating from. And you can see the book now. You can see the link, and it's every third Friday of the month from July 2024 to October 2024. So the last one to come this month now. And they're 2-hour sessions, and it's €600 per session plus VAT. So book your virtual seat for your soul. It's given us the ability to experience everything that we've been speaking about. It's cosmic rays, it's cosmic bundles, it's you being present with yourself in this moment and being able to experience another condition of energy transfer that you already do, as Mark was saying. It's already present. We've just been told other things. We've come to a belief system that has told us something that is positioned us in a wrong way, in another way, not necessarily wrong, but in another way. And we've now come to understand that this technology will open up a superhighway of not just knowledge, but energy transfer, so that point A to point B will be in zero time communication. And as we heard earlier on as well from Mehran in her teaching, this gives us the opportunity to be present in not just across the planet Earth, but across the universes, and to visit other dimensions, other places. And this is a gradual process, step by step, as Mr. Keshe would say. It's a gradation of plasmatic fields, of positioning, of understanding, of field strength, inertias that you will receive. And our belief systems have told us a limitation of the physicality. This knowledge extends the physicality to an energy source that we call the soul of man. And this has the ability to transcend, transmute time and space wherever we are present. And we are present in this moment. Maybe we are located in more than one location than we know. We have a limitation of understanding of, as I said, a belief in what we come to know. And we're very physical. We love the physicality. This is humanity. But there are a few souls that have come to understand, and they've touched creation. They've understood that there's more than just the physical body inertia present on planet Earth. And many universal souls present understood this. It's knowledge. And Mr. Keshe has been given this knowledge freely for humanity to understand. And when you understood it, like I know you do, partly, like we all do, we all have part of the puzzle, each and every one of us. But with these wonderful teachings and this knowledge sharing that's taking place in this moment, it changes the condition. It changes the awareness, and this has a field strength. When you start to operate on a higher level, you attain a position of not superior, of a different knowledge that can help you to elevate, enhance the others. And the more you do this, the higher you will go. And then this manifestation of the things that happen on planet Earth in this moment will start to disappear, because the energy of peace will be present on a soul level. So in reality, of this dimension, the magnets have already taken position. And from an atom to a universe is all being positioned. So we can fight. What are we fighting for, as Mr. Keshe would say? We can fight forever. However, the repositioning of the magnet has taken place, a magnetical gravitational field interaction where the soul has felt and understood something and gathered this knowledge and elevated from the man that gave the knowledge. And that man was from the Creator. And so you're now elevating that knowledge to yourself. You have now transmuted. I'm sorry, I have a dog in the background at the moment trying to transmute into the room. That soul obviously feels that it would like to be present, as it does many times when I'm speaking, I've noticed. Because the souls know the physicality is present. And when you are looking outside of yourself and just viewing the outside environment, you are interacting in a different way. The soul doesn't do this. The soul is connected with every point, space and time in this moment. So when you connect with the soul, when you start to understand the soul, then you start to realize we can transmute, and we are transmuting in this very moment. And we can all, as we visualize or we feel, as we combine our souls, like we do every night at 9 p.m., the souls of the Universal Council come together and they collectively communicate with each other. They spend some time, a thought, a second, just to connect. And that's using the sphere of the brain. That's using the emotion to come together. But then in that moment that you actually have thought it, you're already transmuted to the position. And then you can then transmute and go and see whomever you want to see, the prophets of the past, your relatives, all the way through your lineage. That's a time, place, and position that is present. So we believe through the belief system, and that's like a time that has passed. That's the physical jacket. The reality and the beauty of it is that the soul is still present. That energy is present, and it's transmuted in this very moment, but it's still present. So you can connect, and that gives you great joy and happiness and feeling, because it means that the definition, the beauty of losing the jacket, it takes the energy fear away. Have no fear, because there is a time and a place and a position where you can connect to all the energies of the universe. And it's for you to understand this knowledge and share the soul that is transmuted this information to us. And it's time for us in this moment to be in joy and happiness, and to have that energy of peace present, that is present. As soon as we connect the souls, as soon as we put ourselves in an environment of being peaceful and happy, we create it. So if you have this information and you would not be in the ethos of the foundation, and you used it in the wrong way, you would be limiting your consciousness. You'd be limiting the others. So you will be stealing, taking from yourself and the others. And there's always a payback. And this is the big thing. This is what many don't understand. We see all the illnesses within the some of the world leaders and things. They all have many illnesses. You now know why. Because they're stealing, not just from you, not just from themselves, but from all the souls. And when one of them has the ability to really understand the truth of what's being spoken and they stand forward as a true, beautiful soul, they will change. They will elevate, and then the souls will give back to them. And that's a big, big difference to what we've come to know. And so the balance of the emotions, the balance of the field strength then changes. Not just for a one or two or a few, but for the totality of all the souls. And this is the universal ethos that is present on planet Earth. And these teachings, these beautiful teachings and the understandings from all the knowledge seekers that have come to be touched on a soul level. And so they become in service to all the others. They've understood that we are here, we are present here to serve and not be served. And the more you give, the more you receive. And then that becomes the beauty for all the others and for yourself. And then you can then elevate up this wonderful superhighway back to whatever you call it, whether you call it the creator, God, whatever it is for you. But you will then change position and elevate humanity, and not just humanity, all the created souls that are present. And that's a real beauty. So the 2024 transmutation test, it's a test. It's elevating and giving us the humanity, the opportunity to come to know the essence of a new, an additional technology to what we've known. And it's present in this moment. And you can book your virtual seat for your soul. So for all of you that are present, that may be listening, spend some moments with yourself to understand that if you donate your time and effort to this foundation, which is non-profit, it gives unconditionally back to humanity. That's the whole point of it. So there's no profit involved. It just functions to give back. That's a universal message and a universal order of creation, of matters and other creations. So thank you for listening. And if you have the opportunity for this October, then please book your virtual seat for your soul. Thank you all. Thank you, Rick.
Thank you, my dear Dean. Thank you so much. Here is the 10 wishes from your community to Universal Council. And I'm going to read the wishes. We, the Universal Council and the UC support members, collectively give from our souls freely to create peace in the Middle East rapidly. Yes, and then we give from our souls to the souls of the Iranian leadership, Ayatollah Khamenei, and the leadership of Iran to walk away from the nuclear talk and bring negotiations on the new legging, which means new technology in exchange for peace. TIEP, TIP. We are present. And I invite anybody, any beautiful souls want to say anything, share anything, any love you want to say, any lovely part you want to share your experience. You are so much welcome. Welcome. Suswagatam. Thank you.
Thank you, Sweta. So I would like to say something. And Sweta, we are present with those wonderful wishes for humanity in these moments and in these in this environment that we find that is affecting everybody. Because in micro, in macro, so we have a little micro environment that is a little plasma that has some skin infection or something that is disturbing the environment. And it's being fed by a condition. And the condition is amplified by the intention. And as we see here on this very simple graphic, that when you change the condition, when you change the environment, when you change the intention, from the emotion, everything becomes unconditional love. And then we don't have that irritation. When an irritation is localized, but broadcast further, then the others have to reposition and act accordingly. So can you imagine how in micro and macro this affects the universe? So we have this little blue, beautiful planet and all the interactions that happen upon it, that is then broadcast not just to the blue planet, but across universes. And the universal beings have been witness to this for a very long time. And they stay silent and they position and try to help humanity, help the souls present that are created. And they give unconditionally. And they don't judge. They just keep giving. And then they create a condition by the environmental unconditional love of changing the condition of an irritation, whatever that position may be. So the needs and wishes, and each and every one of you can reposition your thoughts, your intentions, and focus it to a position. And there's no limitation on that focus point. Do you want to transmute yourself, or do you want to transmute a planet, a universe, an atom? So the limitation is what we feel and think and say in our local environment. So if we expand our thoughts, if we expand our ethos of the condition of the knowledge that's been shared today, and we focus a little bit of energy intention into this environment, and we give it unconditional love, like a prophet would. The prophet came to give unconditional love. The original message, the original function of the soul was to give and to help. And then we've taken this knowledge and we've used it in a different way. Maybe it's time to refocus and create peace within the Middle East rapidly. And we don't need to demand, we don't need to physically do anything. We just connect all together the souls and elevate the soul of the Middle East. Let's do it in this moment. Let's just give some energy to the Middle East. We give unconditionally from our soul for the Middle East to be in peace in this moment. And we are present. Thank you for your presence. Thank you, Sweta.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you so much. Thank you. Anybody else, my dear, want to say something?
I don't see anything in particular. I just have in YouTube, there's a statement from Adelise, I think is the name, who says, peace, peace, peace. Obrigada. See you, Mr. Keshe. So, that's that.
Obrigada. Obrigada, my dear. Thank you. There is always the peace. So it is, so be it. Thank you so much. My dear Rick? Yeah. Now we can move to the next presentation.
Okay, next we have a recording from Andrea. I'm not sure if I can play it with the background at the same time. I don't think I have the technology for that yet, so I'll have to share a little window rather than we'll see the full picture on Vimeo, but probably not on Zoom as far as I know. Anyway, we'll give it a try here. So this is a recording from Andrea on unconditional love.
Hello everyone and greetings to you. Andrea is speaking, support member from the German community. Today I will share with you one of the most interesting topics, what mankind more or less call a math. Is it really a math? No, it is the essence of our soul, the essence of the Creator, the essence of creation. I talk about unconditional love. We are moving towards a more authentic, loving, and compassionate way of being, individually and collectively. But to achieve this, we must first learn to love ourselves unconditionally, to love our divine core, to love our true selves. I have an exercise for you. Take time at a quiet place and ask your soul with full attention. I love myself? You get the answer immediately, in this second. Your soul cannot lie. When the answer is yes, then you love unconditional. This is the basic to be able love others unconditionally. It begins in yourself. Unconditional love means that the male and female energies complete each other perfectly, together for the dance of creation. It's equal if you are woman or man. You have it in your DNA and RNA. I will give you examples about the energies. Male energy is, for example, protecting, responsibility, or force. Female energy is, for example, goodness, gentleness, compassion, and love. Your male energies are in your right of the brain, so the female in your left side. Now you can understand why it is so important that both unite, that both coalesce. Man is very special. Our extraterrestrial brothers and sisters have a monobrain, as Mr. Keshe said in the last teaching. Unconditional love is cosmic energy, so part of creation, an energy of the soul. It's the highest field strength of everything in galaxies, universe, and unicos. The characteristics of this pure love are unconditional giving, devotion, humbleness, and detachment. These are safe parts of creation. The opposite of unconditional love are aggressions, battles with yourself and others, self-abuse or the others, manipulation, or steal energy. When you are able to love unconditional, it's very important and necessary to delimit emotions and pain from others. Now we come to the answer of the soul with no. I don't love myself. Reflect on what is missing in your life. What needs do you have? I don't speak about your own wishes for yourself that express what you are missing. It's a process and need time for transformation, but it's necessary for the future. You can support your process like a mantra every day several times with, I am unique, I love myself, I have to go my own way, not someone else's. I nourish myself with energy. Love brings me success. It is not a coincidence that the Creator sent Mitra to Earth, not only to feel the unique love of man on this planet, Mr. Keshe words, also for my understanding that we as one expand our understanding of creation more and more. Think good, speak good, do or act good. Isn't it also unconditional love? The birth of Mitra's daughter at the 6th of December 2023 is what I call another present for mankind. What wonderful prospects for the future of humanity, to become a pure soul, and for the all other souls on earth and beyond. If we ourselves love unconditionally, then we can fully trust in our soul and very well prepared for transmutation and transportation. So we also able to live with the universal community. Their frequency is pure love. Everybody of us can change the field strength of emotion in itself. Each can change her or his DNA. I made man in the image of myself. You know these words of Mr. Keshe, meanwhile in every teaching. Thanks to the Creator for his work.
Okay, thanks,
Angela.
Stuart.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for your beautiful, beautiful saying. Really, unconditional love. That is the need of this moment now. So, be in this unconditional love. And with that, we go to the next slide, next presentation. Here we are here to serve, not to be served, dear beautiful souls, not to be served. And write a poetry. And welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, Swagatam to the beautiful, beautiful energy of Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute organization. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the beautiful, beautiful beauty and totality of all universal souls we are in existence. Welcome, welcome, welcome to unconditional love, my dear beautiful souls. Stay there. Thank you. Now, Universal Council and Salam Namaste, salute my dear beautiful souls. Join, be in love, follow, jump in with Keshe Foundation. In Keshe Foundation, from Keshe Foundation. So, again, the Universal Council. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Salam, Namaste, salute.
Very good. Thank you, Sweta, and all the other members and support members of the Universal Council who participated in today's wonderful workshop and teaching. And this has been the 346th of a series of workshops of the One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace. Today on Tuesday, October 1st, 2024. Okay, our next public teaching workshop would be the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group, which is every week on Wednesday, starting at 7 a.m. Central European Summertime. And that's open to newcomers or old-timers with the plasma technology. And we learn as we go and cover a variety of topics in that workshop that focuses on the practical side of the plasma technology. Okay, I think that wraps it up, other than our usual little song and dance.
How about some practical dance?
We can also mention the first Saturday of every month, which is this coming Saturday, the Q&A with question and answers with the Universal Council will be broadcast at about, I think it's 10 p.m. CEST, coming up this Saturday. So please support and join and enjoy, again, the beautiful understanding in the Keshe Foundation. I think you can hear archives on KesheBrazil.com, or you can join through one of the other mentions on social media or in the Telegram or YouTube. Thank you.
Right, we posted the YouTube link for today's Q&A, and they could access the channel through that link as well. Good, Mark, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. And again, some practical dance and clap, clap. We enjoy, my dear beautiful souls. We enjoy. Thank you, Dan. You are in? Oh.
Yes, indeed. Well, let's all clap and dance our way to the end of the show here. And again, thank you everyone for attending. And we'll see you in the next public teaching workshop, perhaps. Bye for now.
Thanks. Thanks.
Hi, Diane. We hear you. Thank you.
Amen tonight. Amen tonight.
Okay, thank you. Good to hear you. Okay, everyone. I think that's it. Bye for now.